from the Redneck Garage. Woo! Another new project. I was on the internet the other day and I was watching some videos on YouTube, and there's a couple things that I thought, and I'm going to share those thoughts with you in just a moment. But first I'm going to open up this box and show you what I received. This is part of the new project. Okay. I was watching a video the other day on Paintless Dent repair, or PDR is what they call it. And first of all, I thought that a lot of the guys doing it were really kind of just trying to sell tools. So they weren't real helpful on how the procedures were to do it, unless you bought their whole project of junk. So anyway, I spent about 250 bucks on one kit, and then another probably 50 bucks. So 300 bucks. I'm in Paintless Dent repair now. So let me tell you, I am a bondo guy. I like painting and refinishing, but if there's a way to take out a dent without having to repaint dent, I'm all about figuring out how to do it. So for 300 bucks, I figured I could get this and we could go through it on the Redneck Garage and figure out what's going on with it. Take all this junk out. Okay, so I got everything in my Paintless Dent repair that I ordered off of eBay. Now, for all this stuff, I spent about 300 bucks. There's a lot more expensive stuff out there, I promise you, man. I saw some kits that were like $1,200, $1,500, you know, going up from there, and it's just a ripoff. But I did see some pretty cool videos. Now, most of the videos I watched on eBay were, hey, look at this, I'm going to sell you this, or you need this or that. And the instructional videos are really just snake in the grass. Let me try to sell you these Paintless Dent repair tools. So that's not what we're going to do here on the Redneck Garage. What we are going to do is going to discuss the tools that I've got and how they could benefit you. Maybe your grandma's got a ding in her car, or you get some hail damage, or you need to pull out a dent when you're doing body work and you don't want to put a hole in it. Sometimes that's beneficial, like so you don't have to grind off as much. Anyway, I thought it'd be cool to have the tools because they're tools, and you can never go wrong having tools. So let's go through what I got. Like I said, I got about $300 worth, and that is on the very low end of the pricing on the kits. So I'm going to go over it. First thing you need is the glue gun. This glue gun is bigger than, say, like the little hobby ones you see in the store. So that's pretty cool. 40 watts. So it's not a killer, but it is bigger than the little bitty ones. Then, okay, so that's that. We got glue. And supposedly one of these is cold weather glue and one of them is hot weather glue. Now your guess is as good as mine because they don't send instructions with nothing. But you can see, just stick that in the glue gun. I'll figure it out, I guess, going down the road of which one's stronger and which one's weaker. That's the glue. Okay, this is called a tap down tool. When you pull out a dent and you're doing paintless, whether it's using any of these tools, when you pull that out with the glue, it leaves a high spot. So you take this, right, the little nudge tool, and your light hammer. This is a really light hammer, and it's got like some rubber ends on it. It came with a couple different ends, lighter. So we've got a hammer, right? You got to have that. So anyway, you would take this tap down tool and you just go around the high spots very lightly on your dent, and once you get those down, you might have to pull it out again, you might not, but that's what this is for. It's supposed to keep it from marring up the paint and everything else. Very cool. Alright, the specialty part of this whole thing are your glue tabs, right? And these are glue tabs. That's what they look like. There's little bitty ones, there's big ones, there's very medium sized ones. Okay, can you see that? And those are used for different sizes of dents. If you got a really big dent, you use the big one. If you got like just this little bitty crease you're trying to pull out in the middle of, you'd use this little dinky one. And basically, and I'm going to demonstrate it on the next video, but this is just trying to get you going, alright? Come on, don't be complaining. You're going to put glue all over the top of it, and then you're going to stick it onto wherever your dent is. Okay, so you got your glue tabs. Now, to pull on the glue tabs, to pull out on it, right, you're going to need a couple tools. Now, this is what we call a dent lifter, if you can see that, right? And you can see that it's got a knob on the top, and it's got a slot in here. And you would put that on the car, and you just pull up like this, and then eventually that glue is going to let loose, and it'll pop. And at that point, it's pulled up whatever you're pulling up, right? And you got an adjustment here to tighten it up so there's no play in it when you're pulling. So that's called the dent lifter, and that's pretty cool for like hail damage, anything like that. Then we got this one, right? And it's a slide hammer. It's also just a T-bar, so if you're just pulling out, you could use this one, this T-bar, you know, to pull out, tap on it, and that's going to pull on the plastic, and eventually the glue will pop out. And then they sent one more, which is the slide hammer. And this one's supposed to be a little bit lighter than the other one, and it's got grooves so you can get a little pretty good control over it. That's a slide hammer for pulling out on the glue tabs. Everything you pull on is the glue tab itself. Okay, the one thing it didn't come with was some isopropyl alcohol. I bought this at our local Kroger. Jerry can tell you where to buy it in Canada because he's a Canadian guru. But this is just spray bottle isopropyl alcohol. So when you get to the point that you want to take off the glue residue, you spray alcohol on it, and this glue is specially made for alcohol to dissolve it. And then this is the scraper. It's a very sharp little plastic scraper so you don't take all the paint off. And you let it sit there for a minute, and then you just carefully push the glue off the residue, right? And then you take a rag and just wipe it down, and it'll come off. So that is going to be it. That is the Paintless Dent Repair toolkit that I purchased, and we're going to try it out. Okay, so basically you take your glue gun and you liberally apply the glue to the puller tab, right? And then we're going to put it right here. Okay, and you let that dry a little bit. Actually, not dry, but you let it cool off. And as it's cooling off, you can kind of take your finger and touch it around the edge. And when it quits pulling with your fingers, that's gooey stuff, then you know that it's ready to pull. So we're just waiting. It's kind of chilly out tonight, so it shouldn't take long for it to cool down. I'm going to use my handy dandy rod like this. If it's just a ding or a dent or a little, like a hail damage, then you could use that little puller. But this is a bigger piece, so we're going to do it like this. But this is just an example. We're going to be going through the Redneck Garage a couple different ways to use these tools, how to use them. I just wanted to show you that I got them in because, you know what, if you get a new tool, you want to play with it, right? Okay, cool. So, you can tell that it's glued on with no hole. You can see where I've drilled holes and used a regular puller. We're going to see if these actually indeed do pull out some of the metal. And I can see it pulling. You can see where the crease is right here, so you'd probably want to use a smaller one in that crease. Okay, I'm going to spray a little alcohol on this. And the glue should start to dissolve. Which it is. Okay, and the glue's off. And then we're just going to wipe it down, get all the residue. Okay, I switched over to the clear glue to see if it's stronger than the black or the black is stronger, and I'll let you know which one's actually better. But I'm just going to put a little pressure on this. And the black is the stronger. Okay, so that's going to be it tonight on just this quick demonstration. You're going to spray your alcohol on it. Let it sit for a minute. And take your little scraper. Pop it off, and then you're going to wipe it down. So, with the Paintless Dent Repair, you can see that I've got this dent here, right in that metal. I'm going to work on it, see how it comes out. You can kind of see where the crease is. And we're going to see how it comes out after working on it for about an hour. Okay, so about an hour later, you can see where... this other side still looks as bad as it ever did on the other side. But I thought that would be funny. Okay, that's our first video on the PDR, or Paintless Dent Repair. You can see that I've got about $300 worth of tools that I purchased. which is going to be on the low side of what you need to be able to do it. I can tell you that the temperature is going to play a factor in it, because you got glue that you're putting on a car to try to pull a dent out, and if it's really cold, it's going to affect it. But I'm kind of excited on seeing what we can do with this, if we can pull out small dings and dents without having to repaint the car. So those are going to be coming up, weather permitting, I guess. But I was just thinking, having paintless dent repair in my arsenal of tricks in the Redneck Garage would be pretty cool to be able to pull out a ding or a dent or hail damage, or, you know, actually play around with a crease before you grind it off and put bondo in it. Never know. What you do know is that we're going to be doing it step by step together, and you're going to learn just along right beside me on how this stuff works and what's good and what's bad. And maybe you can spend 300 bucks, or maybe you say that's not worth it for me, because the Redneck Garage is looking out for you. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Let's pull some dents and keep turning wrenches.